Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Latinas Power Talk. I am your host, Silvana Vasquez. I hope everyone's having an amazing week, amigas. Today, we're doing something a little different. We have a virtual interview because I found her on Instagram through a friend, and she is pretty badass. Wait till you guys hear what she does for her career. It's like, I could not believe it. I love her page. I love her Instagram. I love everything that she's doing on her career. And she's in Seattle right now. So we're doing this interview virtual. And I want to introduce my guest for this week. She is Silvana Vasquez. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You're in Seattle.
I'm in Seattle.
You're in Seattle. So, un poquito de envidia ahorita porque honestly, it is way too hot in Phoenix, but I know you guys have amazing weather over there. So, feeling really jealous right now. But
Yeah.
um, for those of you who don't know, Silvana is a pilot. So I think that's super interesting when if you guys have seen Ailea's episode, she's one of my friends. If you haven't, go and check that out after. Sent me your info, and she was like, you know what? You have to have her on the podcast. She's a pilot. And I was like, wow, you're pretty badass. Like, you have pictures at Air Force bases with NASA. O sea, how did you get into this?
Okay, so first, I was born with this passion. So my dad was a pilot. He never flew for a career, but he went to school and got his private license. So I believe you're born with this. I grew up with him going to the airport, taking me with him, and showing me and teaching me everything. And then when I was 18 or 17, I moved here to the States from Colombia, and I decided to pursue my dream to become a pilot. But it wasn't easy. Um, a lot of It's a big financial responsibility for an 18, 19-year-old. So it was hard. I started my flight training back then, had to stop for financial reasons. And then I am about to go back to my training and finish it. So I'm not a pilot just yet. I'm pursuing my airport career right now. So what I did is that I stopped for 10 years and I decided to pursue my bachelor's degree in aeronautical science. And I promised myself that once I will graduate and get a job that will allow me to pay for my flight training, I will go back. So I'm at that point right now. The reason why I've gotten so many amazing opportunities to fly with amazing pilots and do these amazing things is because I started my airport career, as I said, a couple of years ago or 3 years ago. I became an airport operations intern. I'm really interested in airport operations and airport management, and that's how I have gotten these amazing opportunities to meet these amazing pilots and be very close to really cool airplanes and flying them and do these amazing things.
¿Cómo se dice? Naciste con esa pasión, básicamente. Entonces,
Nací con la pasión,
yeah,
sí,
lo heredaste de tu papá.
de mi papá.
So he wasn't ever a pilot then?
No, just for fun. His life took another route and he had a change in his career. He never was able to actually graduate to be an airline pilot. So that was his story, but has always been obsessed with aviation. So he always used to take me to like airports just to take pictures to planes. And he has like all these pilot friends, and they will take us for rides, and it's always been his life, so it became my life too.
So when you got here at 18 years old and you started taking your first courses, had you ever flown any type of plane before?
No, I didn't even drive a car back then.
No, really?
Yes, so I flew an airplane before I even knew how to drive a car.
You flew an airplane before you even knew how to drive a car.
Yes.
Wow. And how was that?
Amazing. So the first time I flew in an airplane, I knew that it was for me. I was born for this. So
¿Y no te
Yeah,
dieron nervios la primera vez?
un poquito, pero más emoción que nervios.
Bueno, dicen que si te da un poquito de emoción, un poquito de nervios tu primera vez o cuando vas a hacer algo, es porque es buena señal, ¿verdad? Que tienes
Sí, total,
verdaderamente una pasión hacia lo que vas a hacer. So, I mean, that was always that was a good sign then. But
totalmente.
so, what's it like being a like piloting a plane? Like you have a lot of responsibility in your hands. Like
Yes.
it's a lot, you know. What does it feel like to just like I don't know how intense is it? Because uno ve un montón de botones y todo, and it's like oh my god, how confusing. But how does it feel to like be behind, I guess, the wheel of a plane?
So I've only flew in a small aircraft with only one engine, and I've always been with an instructor by my side. But I cannot imagine how it feels to have hundreds of lives behind you and in your hands. I would love to experience that one day, and that's why I work so hard for. And but yeah, it's still a big responsibility just to fly a small airplane because it's your life, it's your instructor's life, it's people above you, below you. Sorry, but it's crazy to think that so many bad things can happen in a second. But everything is in your hands, and you need to study hard, and you need to be very focused and concentrate, and also trust in your skills and your knowledge. So it is a big responsibility to become a pilot.
No, it is. I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast, but I'm scared of flying.
Really?
And I wasn't scared before, but I had something. It was just a quick flight. It was back in 2016, and I was going from Los Angeles to Phoenix. So it was going to be like maybe 45 minutes, very short. And there was super bad turbulence because there was a dust storm here in Phoenix. So llegando, ya íbamos descendiendo, we were descending and got to buckle up the seatbelts y todo, and it just started to shake so bad. And they're like, "Oh, it's turbulence. There's a dust storm. Okay, that's fine." But it got so bad where it was shaking, y de repente nomás you feel like going back up into the air. The pilot didn't say anything for like it almost felt like 10 minutes. I don't know if it really was 10 minutes or porque estaba asustada, like it felt like a long time. But then the pilot goes on the speaker and says, yeah, we're gonna have to make an emergency landing because there's really bad weather in Phoenix, but also we're running out of fuel. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, if we don't crash because of the storm, we're gonna crash because we can't land because we don't have enough fuel. So I think it traumatized me, but it's so interesting to know of like I do my research on like TikTok or those videos or you know of like the Jello theory. So you really are safe in like an airplane. Like, and I
Yes.
think it's just so I think it puts my mind to ease, like learning from you and like my cousin has done a little bit of air piloting as well, how safe it actually is to ride in an airplane. Would you say it is?
It's very safe. Yes. So as people say, safest than just driving your car to work in the morning. I feel like they're designed, airplanes are designed to endure so much and to be resilient to so much. And also pilots are trained for all kinds of situations. So that's what makes me comfortable and confident when I'm flying, for example, in a commercial flight, when I don't have the control, I don't know what's going to happen, maybe there's bad weather. I will also get scared because
Really?
nothing is in my, yeah, nothing is in my control at that point. But what makes me feel comfortable is that I know that pilots endure really, really intense trainings, and that airplanes are also designed by amazing people that actually know how to make those things so durable
Yeah.
and endure so many things. So if we experience, for example, really bad turbulence, I know that airplanes can, um,
That? Yeah.
yeah, can hold it. Yes.
I've never, I think the furthest I've gone is like Mexico. So me toca todavía volar like to Europe o algo que sea como 12 horas, 14 horas. But what does that training look like for someone who's like interested to become a pilot? Like, what are the types of trainings you guys have to like do? I'm sure there's a lot of stuff to, ¿cómo se dice? Like your reflexes. I know they test your reflexes, they test your vision and all that stuff, but what does it look like? What are the like specific like chapters, I guess, you have to go through to become a pilot?
So first, you learn to fly a small airplane. That's like a big part of it, because that's how you start like getting comfortable with everything, and
I
that's
heard that
your first.
I heard the small airplanes are the ones where you feel the turbulence more. Is that true?
It's true. Yes, you can feel everything. So I like to feel like the airplane is like a connection of your body, and you feel everything that is like happening around it.
Mm.
And it's kind of crazy because yeah, you can really feel everything. But so you start from that airplane. Once you have that down, then you start with multi-engine license, and then it's not just that. You have to learn to fly with just your controls, so not seeing anything outside. Maybe because there's bad weather, you have to trust what's in the control panel. So yeah, for the medical stuff, you have to um, make sure that you're capable, not just physically but mentally capable to become a pilot. And that's not always the case, which is very sad. Sometimes people really want to become pilots, and just because of a small flaw or a small health condition, they can't. So yeah, it's a very, very um, exigente
Yeah,
process.
very
For
intense.
sure.
Yeah,
It's intense.
I didn't know that,
Yes.
like, if you had certain health conditions, like you would just be eliminated. Like I'm sure if you have heart problems, but I'm sure there's like a list of things that you can't have that you're not
Yeah.
gonna, like they kind of have to screen you in a way, right? Like you have to pass a
Yes.
screening process.
Yes. Yes. So not just physically but mentally too. If you've struggled with anxiety or things like that in the past, you might not be um, a good fit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went to school for ¿cómo se dice?
Aeronautical science.
Yes. So how was that? Is that different than like going into kind of like the classes that you're going, the courses that you're doing now?
Yes. So right now, what I'm doing is flight training. It takes probably just like a couple of months in between, like starting to fly and doing the ground school for you to get your license for a private pilot license. What I did with my bachelor's is a 4 year degree that gives you everything you need if you want to work in any kind of job in the aviation field. So it prepares you to be an air traffic controller or an aviation safety inspector and investigate accidents. If you want to become a pilot, that's a really good bachelor's degree for it. So yeah, it's very broad, like all the opportunities and all the doors that this degree has opened for me. And at first it was tough to decide what I wanted to do with it, but then I was given the amazing opportunity to have this internship at an airport, and that's when I realized I really love airports. Like, this is my favorite place to be at. Why wouldn't I want to pursue a career here? So now, just like I want to be a pilot, I also want to be an airport manager in the future. That's why I'm also doing my master's degree right now
Oh
in
wow.
business administration in aviation.
You're busy.
So,
You're busy right now.
yeah.
There's a lot. What are
Yes.
the types of countries that you're like excited to go and see for the first time and hopefully like be able to take like a plane there too?
Oh, I would love to go back to Colombia in my plane and land there and have my family waiting for me. That's like my dream. Yeah, anywhere, but Colombia is a big dream of mine.
Have you been back to Colombia since you were 18?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I think it's going to be a completely different experience to actually go back flying myself. Um, it will be amazing.
A proud moment, I'm sure, of just like, wow, like your dedication, your hard work, like when you left was because to pursue a dream, kind of. Would you say like, did you leave Colombia to like pursue this?
Not really. It was because my family came here. So my mom got married to someone from here, and that actually like brought me here as well. And then that's how everything happened. But I knew that I wanted to become a pilot even if I stayed there. So I wonder what I would be doing if I was still there. I'm really grateful to this country and all the opportunities that I've had the last 14 years that I've been here. But yeah,
Wow. I mean, I can't wait to see you land that plane in Colombia and just have your whole family there. And I'm sure it's going to be like such a nostalgic moment. I saw that you were an author for a book.
yeah. So it's called Latinas in Aviation. I'm really excited because I'm going to be featured in this book. So I actually wrote a little bit of my story of how everything started, and they published it. So it's the fourth edition of these books, and they are actually an amazing cause. Jacqueline Reese, she's the creator of Latinas in Aviation,
Mhm.
and she has this amazing organization that takes all of the profit from the books and um, gives it to scholarships for girls that want to become pilots.
I Googled how many Latinas are in aviation, right? Because I got curious. So in 2022, 7% of aircraft pilots and flight engineers were Hispanic, while 93% were non Hispanic. And it says also in the US, 7% of commercial pilots are Hispanic, igual lo dice, making it the second most common ethnicity after white. But only 7%,
Yes.
only 7%. You're a part of that 7%. Like, I didn't really think about it. Like, son muy pocos los latinos that are in aviation.
Poquitos
Yeah,
y poquitas las mujeres también.
exactly.
Sí.
How does it feel to be like part of just like that number and you're like representing us Latinos like wherever you go, you know?
It's an honor. And this book is just the start of what I really want to do. I really dream of like mentoring young girls that come to the States and don't know how to start. They don't see this dream a reality. Like, how can they make it a reality? I would love to mentor. I would love to support. I would like to be a part of people's lives in that way. So, yeah, this is the start.
This is a start. This is a start. Oh my gosh. For someone hearing us right now that is interested in flying, pero no sabe like how to start, doesn't know where to even begin, what advice would you tell her?
I will tell her to start connecting with amazing organizations like Latinas in Aviation, Women in Aviation International, the 99s. They are amazing organizations that help girls and help young people become pilots. They have scholarships, they have mentorship, they have support groups that they can join in each state. So that will be the first step. Don't ever give up on your dreams, on your dreams, even if it looks really difficult. I know it is possible. It's taken me 10 years, literally 10 years to be where I'm at. And it's worth it. It's just the wait is worth it. All the struggles. If you read my book, which you will, because I'm going to send you a copy,
Thank you.
you are going to see all the struggles, all the hardships that I've had to overcome, and other girls too that are published in the same book. So it's not easy. I know that, but it's worth it.
Ay, qué orgullo. Honestamente, me enorgullece like that you're part of the 7% and that like you have such a passion for it. Like it's just beautiful to see that like ever since you were little, like you thought this was your calling and then once you realized, and got an experience, you're like it really is and you're pursuing it. And not only that, but you're also helping so many other who are interested. And I think it's just so beautiful. I think you're such a great role model and I can't wait to see you land the plane, like I said, in Colombia, and just like hopefully one day we'll be on the same plane and you'll be piloting like a plane and we'll take off to like France or somewhere in Europe.
I would love that.
Mucha suerte, muchas bendiciones para ti. Like, thank you so much. And what message do you have just for someone who may have questions? Like, where can they find you?
You can always find me on Instagram at Fly with Silvana. Please send me a message. I'm always available to respond any questions. Please go read my book and read my story. It's a very interesting one. I know it will motivate some people that don't think this is possible, and that's the goal. And yeah, I'm always available for any questions or any feedback or anything like that.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for your time.
Happy.
I can't wait to see all your successes and everything that's going to happen for you because it's all coming. All good things are coming for you.
Thank you, Kenya. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here in your podcast.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in on another week of Latinas Power Talk. I'll see you here back next week on Wednesday. Bye.